There's 5 things that you absolutely must have and do in order to create success and become the person that you absolutely desire to become. Tune into this episode, and I'm going to tell you exactly how. What's up, everybody, and welcome to the Justin Ford Podcast, where I'll be releasing life-changing principles and valuable information focused on all things faith, finance, family, fitness, real estate, and so much more. Let's go! What's up, everybody? Super excited to be back with you here again today on another episode of the Justin Ford Podcast. Do me a favor, if you guys are loving the show, go ahead and hit the subscribe button here on YouTube or your favorite podcast platform. And if you're really loving the show, go ahead and leave us a 5-star review. If you haven't followed me yet on social media, you can at the official Justin Ford. Again, at the official Justin Ford. You can find me on Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, TikTok, Twitter, also known as X, and also here on YouTube. Somebody might ask me, why do you call yourself the official Justin Ford? Well, that's a good question because, you know, when I went to, I think it was register my Facebook for the very first time, I went to type my name in Justin Ford, and there were like 1,000 of us. I thought I had a unique name, but apparently not. I mean, there are a lot of Justin Fords. You know, go to Facebook or Instagram and just type in Justin Ford, and there's so many. So I'm like, man, if I'm going to like brand myself and market myself, how are people going to find me? So I said the official Justin Ford. So again, if you haven't followed me yet, do that. I'd love to connect with you. Feel free to reach out if you ever have any questions, ever have any comments, feedback. Definitely love to interact with those that are listening. And I actually want to take a moment to thank you for listening to the podcast. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you for your support. Always love getting the positive feedback that we get on a regular basis for those of you that are listening into our podcast. It definitely encourages us it allows us to really know that we're making a difference, because when you're on this side of the recording or the mic or the, in the studio, you don't always know who's listening to the podcast or watching it here on YouTube. And so thank you again so much for your support and your feedback. We appreciate it. Got a great episode in store for you today, but before we get into that, I do want to remind you that this episode is brought to you by my friends over at Next Door Lending. Next Door Lending is a team of professionals that believe everyone should be treated as if they live next door. The founders and team members have more than 150 years of combined loan experience helping clients all over the country choose the best loan program to help you accomplish your goals. Next Door Lending is currently licensed in nearly 30 states and has a team of over 100 loan officers specializing in helping you get the best rate and terms. And so whether you're looking to refinance your home or you're looking to purchase your next home, call my friends over at Next Door Lending today at 888-885-3667 or visit their website at nextdoorlending.com. Speaking of Next Door Lending, I had the opportunity to speak at a networking event last night with it was a mortgage company who invited me out to speak to a group of loan officers and also real estate agents. And, when I think of where we are today from an economic standpoint, or if you're in business, I know a lot of people who listen to the podcast are in some type of business or, are working towards creating success and or in real estate. And, anytime I go in to speak, sometimes people give me a topic that they want me to discuss. And really the gentleman told me, hey, I just want you to come in and share your story and maybe something that could relate to, help those that are there. And when I was in there last night and I was speaking, I shared with those that were there really what it takes to win in life, what it takes to win in business, what it takes to create success. And, what I love about what I was sharing last night, and I'm actually going to share with you today, is anybody can win. And so if you're listening to this podcast or you're watching us here on YouTube, you can win in life in anything that you truly set your desires to, right? Anybody can win. Anybody can create success. Anybody can accomplish their goals. Anybody can live the life that they want to live. What it really just comes down to, are you really willing to pay the price and become the person that you need to be in order to accomplish those things? And a lot of times people aren't. And I think a lot of times people set out to create success or create something special with their life, accomplish some goals, and then when they get into it, they find that it's difficult and it's hard, and sometimes it's easy to go back to just being comfortable. And at the same time, what I find is you're not really comfortable because you kind of live in regret if you're not setting out to do the things that you ultimately want to do and accomplish the things you ultimately want to accomplish. And so a lot of times people just kind of settle and are never really truly happy with where they are, what they ultimately want. And a lot of things hold us back, right? Fear, worry, the worry of potentially failing or, being afraid of failure. And so a lot of times we never really get out of the boat and step out in faith to go create the success in the life that we want. Why? Because it's hard. It's truly hard. And sharing this last night, I'm in a room with a bunch of mortgage loan officers and real estate agents. And right now, the economy, our industry, it's hard, right? Not that it's ever easy, but it's different than it was last year, 2 years ago, 3 years ago when things were, booming, right? When you look at the housing market right now, sales are down, interest rates are up, prices are staying pretty much the same, but there's not as much movement in the market. So what does that mean? If you sold 50 homes last year, in order to sell 50 this year, you're going to have to work a little harder because there's less inventory. And so it's definitely harder today than it was last year. And in previous episodes, I've talked about, things that you need to do in order to create more success. And what I'm going to share today applies to any area in life, business, health, finances, relationships, or just you becoming the person that you ultimately want to be and living the life that you ultimately want to live. And so what I wrote down here, and I'm going to relate it to sales or success, but I want you to also tie it to any area of your life. So I'm going to give you the 5 things that you must have and do to win in life or win in today's market or just be successful. 5 things. And as I was thinking about these 5 things, they really spoke to me because I realized I've applied these things in my life. And, when I was sharing with this group last night, I was sharing my testimony of how I, really struggled early on, then created some success. And people see me now today. I'm a podcast host. I have a book, I've got businesses. I'm a speaker, all of this stuff. And yet they really don't see the behind the scenes, the struggle, the hardship, the pressing through, the discouraging times, the ups and downs, the trials and the tribulations, because they're there. I have them. I go through them on a regular basis. However, I show up every day determined to create success and win no matter what. No matter how much resistance I feel, no matter how hard it is, no matter what's against me, no matter what trials and tribulations I'm facing, no matter what mountain I have to climb, no matter what hole I got to dig myself out of, I made a decision that I'm going to win and create success in my life no matter what, no matter how hard it is, no matter what comes against me. I'm going to create the life that I want to live, and I'm going to become the person who I want to be no matter what. And so if that's you, if you want to, create success in your life, if you want to create success in your business, if you want to sell more homes, if you're a real estate agent, if you want to make more money, if you want to lose weight, if you want to do something more with your life, I want to give you these 5 things that you must have and do to do that. And number 1 is faith. You hear the word faith and you automatically tie it to something religious or spiritual, but what is faith? And we can take what the Bible says about faith, and you don't even have to be a Christian, you don't have to be religious to understand what I'm about to say, because what I love about the Bible is this, is you could be Buddhist, you could be Muslim, you could be atheist, you could be just a non-believer altogether, and you could read the Bible as a universal principles book and take so much from it and apply it to your life and create a better life. Even if you don't believe in God, even if you don't, want anything to do with religion or spirituality, you can live a better life by just applying specific principles in the Bible, because there are universal principles that God has written into the universe that if you apply them, whether you're a believer or not, you can benefit from them. And number 1, again, is faith. Faith is the substance of things hoped for and the evidence of things unseen. when you're setting out to accomplish a goal, when you're setting out to create something more for your life, if you want to, be successful, if you want to, sell more homes, if you want to live a certain lifestyle, if you want to, look a certain way, what does it take? First, it starts with a vision, right? In your mind, you're thinking, this is what I want. So you kind of see it. You see a vision, or you get an idea of what it is that you ultimately want. And then you set out to pursue that life, that accomplishment, that success. And so what does it take to walk that walk, to take that journey, to go through that process to get what you want? It takes faith. And if faith is the substance of things hoped for and the evidence of things unseen, you have to first believe, right? Faith is believing. You have to believe that what it is that you want is going to happen. That's faith. Faith is seeing yourself healthy, even though you might not be healthy right now. Faith is seeing more money in your bank account, even though you might have a zero or a negative balance. I've been there. Maybe faith is saying, you know what? I want to have a better marriage. Maybe faith is saying one day I want to get married and I want to have a family. Or maybe faith is saying, you know what? I want to create something special with my life and I want to make a difference in the world. If you want to create success or become the person that you want to be, number one is you have to have faith. You have to be a believer and you have to believe in yourself. You have to believe in yourself, because if you don't believe in yourself and you don't believe that it's possible that you can create what it is that you want to create in your life, then I can tell you right now, it's not going to happen. It's just not going to happen. Everything starts with faith. Number two is you have to have grit. What is grit? Grit is courage and resilience. I'm a big Detroit Lions football fan, and for my whole life, it's been very discouraging and frustrating to be a Lions fan. And some of you guys might say, it's been going on a lot longer, Justin, than your life. It's, my dad says the same thing his whole life. And we heard a lot about grit around this team. That's one of the words that the Detroit Lions use around their franchise and their team is grit. What does it mean to have grit? Well, if you're going to set out and pursue this accomplishment, this life of success, these things that you want for yourself, changing yourself to become the best version of yourself, you have to have courage and you have to have resilience. That means that even in the face of difficulty, even in the face of trials and tribulations, even in the face of hardship and negativity and all of those things that life presents to all of us, you have to have grit. You have to have courage and you have to have resilience. That is something that if you're going to win in your life, and no matter what it is that you want to accomplish or become, you need grit. And maybe you look back at your life, look at things you've already accomplished, look at areas of your life you've already changed. I guarantee if you look back at your life along the journey to get to where you are right now, you had grit, you had courage, you had resilience. And resilience says, you know what, I'm never going to give up. I'm never going to quit. I'm going to have courage, even though right now I feel like throwing in the towel. I feel like giving up. I'm discouraged. I'm frustrated. I'm not seeing the results. I'm having a hard time. I feel like everything is against me. You choose grit. Number three, consistency and discipline. If you're going to be, successful in any area of your life, you can't just work on that once a week. You can't just work on, if 7 days a week, 6 of them you eat like crap and one day you eat healthy. I mean, that's a good start, but you're never going to get to your goal by doing the opposite of what it is you need to do to get what you want. Same thing for success in your business. Maybe it's real estate. If you're not talking, to people, if you're not doing the actions, if you're not working full time, you're never going to get a full time income on a part-time work ethic. It's just not going to happen. And so consistency and discipline is showing up every day, working on it every day, doing whatever you can every day. Does that mean every day is going to be perfect? No. Most of the days are going to be hard. Most of the days you're not going to want to do it. I'm right there too, even in my health and my faith journey. I haven't been running lately. I've been doing a lot of walking. I like running when it's nice outside. The weather is starting to turn here in Michigan, but I've learned that I don't have to do the same thing over and over and over again. That was what I learned last year was on my 1% Better journey. If you didn't hear the episode, you can go back and listen to it. It's being able to make adjustments along the way so that you remain consistent and you keep going. It doesn't always have to look a certain way. And I encourage you if you're on the path to something that it is you want to accomplish, find out what's the way that you can do it, that you actually like and enjoy it, and be flexible and be willing to adjust along the way to ultimately get what you want. And so again, we're talking about the 5 things that you must have and do to win in life today. Number 1, faith. Number 2, grit. Number 3, consistency and discipline. And then number 4, if you're in business, if you're looking to have, more success in business, you want to sell more homes, you want to make more money, if you're in any type of customer service business, you're in the service business, number 4 is you have to have conversations every day, or you have to work on the thing that's going to create results for you every day. So being in real estate, I sell a lot of real estate. Well, guess what? I wouldn't be selling a lot of real estate if I wasn't having a lot of conversations every day. Every single day, minimum, this is a bare minimum, I have 25 conversations per day with people about real estate. Now, some days, all 25 tell me no. Other days, 1 might say yes, 2 might say yes, 3 might say yes. But the majority of them are always going to say no, because that's just sales. The majority of people are going to tell you no. I've learned how to be okay with that, but I've learned how to be consistent and disciplined to show up and do that every day, because I know that if I do that every day, eventually the yeses show up. And so depending on what type of business that you're in, if you're in a customer service business, whatever type of business, what do you need to do every day to get you in front of more people, to get you in front of more eyeballs, to get more sales through the door? If you're not doing that every single day, then guess what? You're not going to get the results that you want, because it all starts with relationships. It all starts with conversations. And you might say, well, Justin, how does that relate to my health? Well, what do you need to do every day in order to be healthy? You might say, well, what does it have to do with my relationships? What do you have to do in your relationship every day for it to be what you want it to be? The conversations piece is, what are we doing every day to get us the result that we ultimately want? And then number 5, let me repeat the 4. Number 1, faith. Number 2, grit. Number 3, conversations. Number 3, consistency and discipline. Number 4, conversations. And last but not least, and this is something that I did early on that has got me to ultimately where I am, and I'm not where I want to be, but it's ultimately going to take me where I want to be. And number 5 is, you have to make a decision that you're going to win no matter what. Like, you're going to win in this pursuit of success, business, finance, health, relationships, whatever it is you want, that you're making a decision that you're going to win, and the outcome that you desire is going to happen no matter what. Meaning you're not even leaving any room for what we call a plan B. You don't have a plan B. There is no plan B. It's not, well, I'll try this and see if it works. And if it doesn't, then maybe I'll try something else. No, if you're making a commitment to being healthy, then guess what? Be healthy, even if it takes 5 years. You want to be successful? How long are you committed to do that? Stay committed and do what it takes until you're that. Oftentimes what I see being a real estate coach and, having a team and, having employees is, when you work with people, a lot of times you realize people, when it gets tough or it gets hard or you don't see the results, unless you've applied these principles that I'm sharing with you today, it's easy to just throw in the towel and quit, because we've left room for that option. But when you make a decision that you're going to win, when you make a decision that you don't have a plan B, and when you make a decision that quitting is not an option, and I said this to the group last night and I'll say it to you, sooner or later, you're going to win. You're going to create success. You're going to sell that amount of homes. You're going to have that amount of money in the bank account. You're going to lose that certain amount of weight. You're going to have that relationship that you want. Why? Because you're focusing on the process to get there. You're not attaching it to, it has to happen by this specific date. And so maybe it doesn't happen tomorrow. Maybe it doesn't happen next week or next month or even next year. But if you're committed to the process and you're willing to walk by faith and not by sight, and you're willing to have grit, you're willing to show up and be consistent and disciplined every day, and you're willing to have the amount of conversations that it takes to be successful. And speaking of conversations, if you're in real estate and you're looking to have more conversations with people, then I want to tell you about the system that I use every day and my team uses every day to have minimum 25 conversations every single day to where we set more listing appointments with our sellers. Listen in. Are you a real estate agent looking to sell more homes this year and make more money but not sure how? The answer is simple. You just need to talk to more people. Being a real estate coach and teaching thousands of real estate agents all over North America and personally selling on average 100 homes per year, the thing top producing real estate agents have in common is that they use systems and technology to get in front of more people and have more conversations about real estate. And the system I use every day to ensure my success in real estate is RedX. RedX is my secret weapon for success in this competitive world of real estate that allows me to take 7 to 10 listings on average every month. RedX provides me with the highest quality homeowner lead data, phone numbers, and industry-leading communication tools to connect with homeowners actively looking to sell, giving you the edge to be the first agent in the door. RedX's triple line power dialer will boost your conversations, connecting you seamlessly with more motivated homeowners ready to sell, allowing you to leave pre-recorded voicemails effortlessly for those that don't answer. But that's not all. Say goodbye to time-consuming neighborhood farming. RedX provides you with phone numbers and addresses for homeowners in your area in seconds, making prospecting a breeze. How about investors and landlords, pre-foreclosures, for sale by owners and expireds? RedX is your all-in-one prospecting solution. Don't miss out on the opportunities waiting for you. Take the first step towards increased production, more listings, and long-term success. Visit sellmorewithredx.com right now to start your prospecting journey with the most accurate contact information on the market. And because you're a listener of my podcast, RedX will waive your $150 setup fee. Go to sellmorewithredx.com and start selling more homes today. And so that system right there, RedX, we use RedX every single day to call sellers every day and set listing appointments. This is how I've built my business for the last 10 plus years, is conversations. But then number 5 is you have to make a decision that you're going to win no matter what. And like I said, when you do this, it's a guarantee that before you know it, you'll create the success that you ultimately desire to have. The outcome that you ultimately desire to have will present itself sooner than you think. So I believe in you guys. Listen, if I can be successful after everything that I've gone through in my life, I know you can too. I've just made a decision that I'm going to win. I made a decision a long time ago. I'm going to do whatever it takes, no matter what. I wish I would have known early on that the journey was going to be a lot harder than I thought it was. But now that I'm 41 years old and I've been at it now for 20 plus years, I realize that there's a process and there's a price to pay. And you have to ask yourself, are you willing to pay the price? Are you willing to put in the work? And are you willing to do whatever it takes to get the outcome that you ultimately want to have? And if you are, I want you to be encouraged, because it's just a matter of time before you get to where you ultimately want to go, and enjoy the journey. Guys, thank you for tuning in to another episode here. I want to remind you that this episode is brought to you by my friends over at Nextdoor Lending. Nextdoor Lending is not just a sponsor of the show. Guys, Nextdoor Lending is the personal lender relationship that we have for all of our buyers at the Justin Ford Real Estate Team. They have over 600 5-star reviews, a perfect Better Business Bureau rating. If you're looking to refinance your home, I want you to call my friends over at Nextdoor Lending. If you're looking to purchase your home, spring is here. We know that this is the time where people go out and want to purchase homes. If you're looking to get pre-approved, call my friends over at Nextdoor Lending. And if you're a real estate agent looking for a great lender relationship, call my friends over at Nextdoor Lending today at 888-885-3667 or visit their website at nextdoorlending.com. Guys, I'm excited for you. And again, make a commitment today that you're going to do whatever it takes to go out there and win. Thanks for tuning in to another episode here of the Justin Ford Podcast. Go ahead and hit the subscribe button. If you love the show, feel free to share it with someone, share it on your social media, and please leave us a review. We always appreciate your reviews. You can leave us a 5-star review and tell us how you're loving the show. And if you haven't followed me on social media yet, you can at the official Justin Ford. There's 2 things that I always like to leave you with. Number 1, it's not how you start. What matters is how you finish. And number 2, with God, all things are possible. God bless you guys. Thanks for tuning in, and we'll see you on the next one.